She goes and texts me on MySpace, it was MySpace back then, and tells me I've had sex with Greg on October the 28th and September the 1st. Oh, you did?
Jessica and Gregory met as teenagers, but their puppy love became serious when at 17, Jessica discovered she was pregnant. They managed to stay together for 8 years and had a second child. But now, after only 4 months of marriage, they've run out of love and want nothing more to do with each other.
At the time, I wasn't ready to be married.
All the times he's cheated, like he's cheated so much.
Mrs. McDuffie, do you throw the man out every time you argue?
It's all over and there's no turning back.
Having sex with somebody other than your significant other is a cheat.
Today on Divorce Court.
Come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toler presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Jessica Ann McDuffie and Gregory Samuel. The two of you have been together for 8 years, married for 4 months, and now you want to get divorced. I never understand that. They stay together forever, say I do, can't stand one another anymore. Having said that, I will say this. You are 21 and you are 22. You have some financial matters you would like me to resolve, and we will get to that momentarily. But before we do, Mrs. McDuffie, I'd like to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
Okay, Your Honor. First things first, I have a big problem with Greg. He's a mama's boy.
He's a mama's boy.
And I say that because every single week, he runs home to his mom. We can get into an argument, and instead of sitting down, talking about it, he goes to his mom's house, and he tells her about everything that goes on in our house. So after he does that, she calls me on the phone every single time. And she's like going off on me saying, you know, you put my son down, you're not good enough for him. You just need to learn how to treat him like the man he is. Okay, and then she's
like— Does she
like—
have any specific recommendations about how you should treat him?
Yeah, she wants me to treat him like a king, but I'm not going to treat you like a king if you're not treating me like the queen that I am. And my thing about that is she also told me, and it really hurted me when she said it, she told me that she wished we would have never got married. And I'm like, if you wish we would have never got married, then you should have never showed up at the wedding with your royal blue dress on, your royal blue and black hair, and your royal blue sandals, and walked down the aisle.
Her hair was royal blue
Her
too?
hair was royal blue too, also, royal blue streaks. And you could have stayed at home or went to the club or whatever you wanted to do in your little royal blue outfit, and the wedding would have still have went on without you. My mom raised me to handle business, take care of my husband, and I can do all of that, but not with the way he treats me. He says stuff to me like, he calls me man and cuz. I'm like, I'm not a man. I have big boobs and behind. I'm not your cousin.
No, we were not confused about that at all. We got woman.
I'm not your cousin. I never want to be one of your cousins. I'm your wife. And he doesn't respect me in that area at all.
Mr. Samuel, do you feel that you're a little over-involved with your mother, even though you're now a married man?
No, ma'am. My wife is just being a little dramatic. I'm not his mama boy. I mean, the reason why I do go to my mom's house is because she's always putting me out. If we have an argument, she's going to tell me to get out and go stay with my mom. She's going to tell me to get out and go stay with my mom. And then she knows one fact, that my mom would not let me come back home without a job or anything. And I never will go back to my mom's house and stay. So I don't.
But when you get put out of your own house, where else are you going to go? That's your point.
I mean, I get up and leave, Your Honor, but I come right back.
Right.
That's not.
Hang on. Do you tell your mother a lot of personal business about what's going on in your household?
Not at all. My wife actually calls my mom every time we have an argument. She calls my mom and tells my mom what I'm doing. Then
the only reason I call his mom is because he's gone already.
Now, you telling me that he ain't right, but he's quiet. He's telling me that you aren't right, and so far you haven't been. So when I make assessments about credibility of who's crazy and who can do what and who can follow rules, your behavior within the context of this hearing is very important. Keep that in mind, because you got 3 strikes already.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Samuel, go ahead.
Okay, Your Honor. She feels like I'm a mama's boy because my mom will support me. Like the last time, my mom told me, well, maybe you need to move back with me and I will be able to help you find your own place if she's going to keep throwing you out on the street every time you argue.
Mrs. McDuffie, do you throw the man out every time you argue?
No, ma'am. I used to in the past. I'm not gonna lie about that. I used to
in the past. You only been married 4 months. There is no past.
Not when we were married. Before we were married, because we were living together before we got married.
And you used to put him out.
And I used to put him out. But now that we're married, he leaves on his own. He's so used to me doing it. He gets up and go on his own. And
so it's kind of your fault then, because you trained him to bolt, because that is the history that the two of you have. Correct?
Correct.
When divorce court continues, did Jessica bully Gregory into marriage?
I told him he can either marry me or he can leave me.
I didn't even get a chance to propose to her. I got off work one day and she had already ordered the ring.
Divorce isn't easy. If you want to share your story, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court returns with the case of 21-year-old Jessica McDuffie, who is certain her husband Gregory has been cheating on her. But how far does Jessica go to make her case?
He cheated with this girl at his first job. After she got off, I met her outside of the joint, and we got it on.
It is my understanding, from what I've seen in your papers, that you gave him an ultimatum about marriage. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that. What did you say, and why did you say it?
Well, I told him he can either marry me or he can leave me, because I met him when I was 14 years old, and we both were so young. We still are young. And I just felt like we've been living together since I was 17. And
you have 2 children together.
And we have 2 children, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I just feel like by now, you know, by that time, I felt like, you know, if you want to be with me or not, forever. You know that, because he was coming back every time. He was leaving, but he was coming back, and I was letting him back. So why not get married? That's how I was thinking. Why not make a commitment?
Mr. Samuel, how were you feeling when you got that ultimatum?
I told her basically, I will marry you, but at the time, I wasn't ready to be married, because I know that me and her had different situations. We had problems. And when she brought it up, she told me, she said, well, you're not going to be able to move with me and my kids if you don't put a ring on my finger. And the way that we got married, I didn't even get a chance to propose to her. I got off work one day, and she had already ordered the rings. And Your Honor,
now, Mrs. McDuffie, you can't threaten the brother into making a commitment. It never works out. He's resentful about it. He's angry. He's not coming in strong.
But he should have been happy to, I just felt like he should have been happy to have someone like me. All the times he's cheated, like he's cheated so much.
You tell me how often he's cheated.
I mean, he's cheated 10 times a year ever since we've been together. He cheated with this girl at his first job, and I was taking him back and forth to work every day, dropping him off, picking him up. I never even knew anything about it. Well, she goes and texts me on MySpace, it was MySpace back then, and tells me I've had sex with Greg on October the 28th and September the 1st. Oh, you did? So we're on our way to the park, and she texts him, are you coming to work today? So I'm guessing on the days that I didn't drop him off, he would go and pick her up and take her to work. And I went up to her job and I asked her, you know, what's going on? She goes to loud talk me behind the register. Oh, I've cheated with Greg so many times. You're stupid. I'm the one who's been buying your baby those clothes. And, you know, back then, I'm like, oh, you have? Oh, I'll meet you after work. So after she got off, I met her outside of the joint and we got it on and whatever. And he showed up and he's pushing me.
Who won the fight?
I did, of course. I whooped her tail. I mean, I was so upset, you know, and I don't even act like that.
Mr. Samuel, were you cheating with this woman?
I wouldn't call it cheating.
What would you call it?
I told my wife, when I first met the girl, you know, she was there for somebody I could talk to, because she wasn't never there. Me and her were always arguing. And it was like, okay, this girl right here, she shows me the attention that I wanted. I mean, we slept around probably twice, but...
So you did cheat. Having sex with somebody other than your significant other is a cheat.
When Divorce Court continues, it's no wonder that Jessica and Gregory are no longer on the same wavelength.
Were you fooling around and flirting right in front of your husband with the cable guy?
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court returns with the case of Gregory Samuel, who says he's fed up with the lack of intimacy in his marriage to Jessica. But is the drought in the bedroom the reason for this couple's breakup?
How long has it been since you've had sex? Mr. Samuel, let me ask you this. What are your major concerns about Mrs. McDuffie over here?
I'm here because my wife is very disrespectful towards me. I mean, one incident, me and my wife, we just moved into this house and we were getting our cable hooked up. And the guy, he went out back to install the cable in the back. And me and my wife was sitting on the couch, you know. So she got off the couch and picture this, she had a rag on her head, you know, looking normal like in the morning. So she gets off the couch with me, goes outside with the guy. I say about 30 minutes passed, so I asked my daughter, where's mom? So she like outside, so I walk outside. She comes from around the house with a rag off her hair, trying to brush her hair all down, look all good. So I say, what are you doing? And she gets to laughing and blushing, talking about, you know what I do, and you know, and so I left, and when I come back, I look at her phone, and I see that she texted somebody that she had to flirt with the cable guy. And another incident, 2 guys were fixing our door. She comes to the door, shaking her butt right in front of the guys, and gets to telling them, you guys need to come back and I'll cook for you guys. I never cook for my husband. And to top that off, Your Honor, she goes to say, okay, are you guys hiring because he's not working and he's just sitting around looking in my face? And, you know, it made me feel less than a man and more of a roommate.
Were you fooling around and flirting right in front of your husband with the cable guy?
No,
Yes.
Yes, she was.
Took you too long to say no, so that's a yes.
Well, Your Honor,
Don't play with me.
I just have to say one thing about that. He's never been the type of guy to say, you're beautiful, you're dressed nice today. Or when I go to work, men always tell me you're beautiful. I don't see, you know, and I'll be like, well, people call me fat. I'm talking about him when I say it. They're like, you're not fat, you look great. But to him, I'm not that. And I don't like that about him. I just can never, we don't have sex. And he asked me why we don't have sex because
you're
I'm
not
unhappy.
Hang on. How long has it been since you've had sex?
Oh, wow.
Probably a month, Your Honor. With her, planning sex is like planning for a football game. We plan a whole week ahead of time, Your Honor, and when the day gets there, it never happens. She always saying she's not happy no matter what I do. I mean, I was working, paying all the bills the last 4 years, Your Honor, putting food on the table, coming home every day, you know.
Okay, I know what the problem is. And I won't talk to the two of you for a second. I know what the problem is. There's 4 months, we ain't giving up on this sucker yet. It's crazy. You got 2 kids, you just 2 children yourself. I'm gonna talk to you about how you have an argument, how you please a woman, and all this kind of stuff. Come with me.
Court will be at recess.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lynn's one-on-one with Gregory and Jessica.
You are too young to be married. 21 years old. Just a baby, you know that, right?
Divorce court returns with the case of 21-year-old Jessica McDuffie and 22-year-old Gregory Samuel, who after 4 short months of marriage and 2 children, are in divorce court to end it and go their separate ways.
Gregory,
Ma'am.
I brought you in here because you're a good guy caught in a bad situation. You are too young to be married. I think you know that. I think she knows that. And you're not quite ready. But I want to help you out because you got 2 kids and you're a good guy. You said something in there that I think men of 40, 50, 60, and 70 still get wrong. You say, I work, I come home, I'm a decent guy. That should make her happy.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's not enough.
It's not.
No, it's not just about money. But what we need to feel good about ourselves is a person who values us as people. I got a book that I'm gonna give you. It's called Making Marriage Work. And there's a rule in here. And it says, first one, and this is rules just for men, make sure she feels heard. And the second one is be emotionally proactive. The sexiest thing a man can do is say, hey, baby, how was your day? That means you care about her. You care about her needs and her emotions. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to talk to your wife. I'm going to have Joe take you back out and bring your wife in here.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. 21 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a baby. You know that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing a woman's job. And I think you're doing a good job at it being a woman. I think you're doing a good job of holding it down. Do you want to know where you're making your mistake?
Yes, ma'am.
You're making your mistake because your man has to feel like a man no matter what's going on. And if you spend all of your time picking at where he's weak instead of applauding him for what he has done, he's going to withdraw from you. He's going to be angry. Don't express your frustration. Request what you need. Make the ask. I've got rules in here just for women. And one of them is make the ask. Listen, when my husband and I were married for 18 years, he'd walk in a room, I'd walk out. I just thought he was the worst person in the world. And you know why? Because I expected things of him that I never asked for. You decided this is what you want. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. You decided this is what you wanted. And you wanted it because you had 2 children with him. If I can't tell you anything else, you cannot control your life till you control your fertility. Okay?
Okay.
Here you go, Jessica.
Thank you.
You take care, hon. Let's go back out there and finish this thing up. So, Jessica and Gregory, I'm calling you by your first names because I'm owning you now. What I'm trying to do is to save this marriage because you're 2 good people. Really, really, really too young to be married, but you're going to try to make it work, and I want you to make it work. One thing, Mr. Samuel, you can't cheat. You can't talk to other women and get soothed and caressed and carried on with let that go. If you're upset, you wait, you stay, and you talk to your wife when you're cool, but you don't go elsewhere. You just got to cut that out. Just cut it out. And then I'm going to give you each a copy of my book because you need to read separate chapters of it. She's feeling like she's responsible for everything, and he's feeling like he's not appreciated for what he does. You 2 learn how to get that straight and get that communication together. I think you can do it, and I hope you can do it because you're 2 good people, and I want you to be happy, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about that money. There's not going to be any recovery because the only thing we're going to recover is your relationship, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this matter is adjourned. Good luck to both of you.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Since leaving divorce court, things have taken a positive turn for Jessica and Gregory. Jessica says that she followed the judge's advice to let a man be a man, and in doing so, she has seen Gregory step up in the relationship, working a full-time job and contributing financially. He no longer leaves when he gets frustrated, and he tells Jessica how beautiful she is and how much she means to him. All of this has made a big difference in their marriage, and they are thankful for the judge's wisdom and counsel.